Hey guys, and welcome back to Bro Pod. I'm Nathan, and we're joined here with Sean.
Hello, everyone.
So, before we get this episode on its way, I would like to, even though we're late to the party, but I would still like to wish all of you guys a happy new year. Even though 2020 was not good, I hope that 2021 will be a little bit better for us. So, Sean, what are we talking about today?
Okay, so starting off, I think a big part of 2020 was quarantine. I think everyone can all agree upon that. What do you say?
Yes, quarantine, I believe, even though it was not the first thing that happened in 2020, it's still, I guess it made up most of the 2020 experience for most of us.
Yeah, we're not recapping the COVID-19 episode we did a few episodes back.
No, we're not.
Yeah,
We're merely just explaining, I guess, just summarizing it. So for me, like I said, quarantine was okay, so I said this in the previous podcast. But quarantine for me especially it got boring really quick. I don't know about you, Sean. How was quarantine for you?
Well, we talked about this a bit, but
Yeah.
it wasn't that bad for me. I mean, I could stay with quarantine like forever. I'm just that type. Yeah, I'm like type A or B, whatever.
I mean, I think quarantine for me was I think I don't really like the environment because you're more relaxed. Like I said in that podcast,
Yeah.
I said you're in the comfort of your own home, and you essentially feel comfortable, but you're not engaged to study. I don't know. That's my experience with quarantine in school. But yeah, I just think it got really boring really quickly. So yeah.
Oh yeah, quarantine school. I totally get it. Like, I don't want to study. Nobody wants to study. But
and actually, school for us it actually resumed in September, I think. So yeah. This is for our school in our kind of province, and what the government came up with was this thing called the quarterly system. Now, essentially, what it kind of is we take 2 courses every single quarter. So instead of having 2 semesters, we split those 2 semesters into 4 quarters. And each quarter, we only do 2 subjects. So for my first one, for example, I had English and I had mathematics. And I thought it was a great idea. I mean, we get to go back to school and all. And then during the quarantine, during the pandemic, and we essentially are sitting in class with masks on. And I did mention before that I didn't like wearing masks. Especially because I wear glasses. I'm a glasses guy. I'm literally blind as a bat without them. And wearing masks and glasses are really a pain in the backside. I don't know about you, Sean.
They fog up. It's like car window wipers. You got to clean them off, you know?
Yeah, you gotta wipe them off. You gotta wipe off the mist. Like if you don't be careful, you might I don't know, smack into a wall or something.
Yeah, but I just want to take you back there. You said talk about the quarterly system.
Yeah, the quarterly system.
So what do you think of it now?
Well, we're still kind of going through the quarterly system. Well, right now we're on break right now, but if I were to give it an honest opinion, I think the quarterly system was kind of bad because if you think about it, you're cramming in everything, you're cramming in the material, and for me it was especially stressful. So I did mention before, maybe in that podcast, that I said I work better under pressure. Yeah, that's true. I do work better under pressure. I think pressure gives you that driving force to complete things, but I think too much pressure, I think this goes with everybody, under too much pressure you just collapse.
Yeah, I mean, it's half the courses, one could argue. So it's easier.
But I think, but in a normal semester we have 4 subjects, but in a quarter system we have 2. But here's the catch: you're still covering all of it, and then a quarter, I would say, is almost like a month and a bit. So, and a semester is usually a couple of months. So you're taking like subjects, and you're essentially compressing all the material to be covered in a couple of months into a month and a half. So essentially, almost every single week you have one test or two tests, and I think it's kind of overwhelming. And I think the quarterly system was, I guess it was trying to prevent the interactions between students, but I think it also apparently had a kind of stress factor. I think it definitely took a toll on some people's sanity. I don't know, it kind of, for me, it took
it's really a little bit. Thing.
Yeah. So I don't know, what are your thoughts on the quarter system? Did you think it was a good kind of
quarter system? I could take it or leave it. Give me 2 classes, okay. Give me 4 classes. It's all the same to me.
I mean, I think they were good because, I mean, two subjects, but I think if they gave us 4 and they wanted to do all 4 in a quarter, I think that would be a little bit too overwhelming.
Yeah, okay. They still have like time they need to fill. If they did that, then we'd be like done pretty early, I think, right?
Yeah, done pretty early. I mean, right, as of now, we're still in break, and school actually begins for us next week. So we're still doing the online, but then after a week of online, I believe we are switching back to normal school. So online will be certainly
normal school.
Well, normal school. If you count wearing masks, and yeah, if you count wearing masks, normal, I guess now. I mean, I guess now wearing masks is kind of the norm, right?
Yeah, I guess it's kind of everyone's getting used to it. And actually, people are getting annoyed by it.
Yeah, especially me. I get annoyed by masks. I mean, like I said before, Face ID on your iPhone or any other device, trying to, you wearing a mask and you can't use Face ID. I guess that's just really annoying, to say the least.
I mean, that's a pretty minor concern. Like that.
Minor. Face ID. There are other bigger things we should be concerned about. I mean, social distancing. Right.
Yeah. That's just annoying sometimes. Like, when a teacher just hounds you for being like maybe one step too close, that can be a little bit interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if you look, for example, the other day I actually went skiing. Well, I snowboard, but yeah, I went snowboarding, and if you look at the lineup for the chairlift to go up the hill, it was long. It curled. Oh, there was what social distancing? There was no social distancing. Maybe not 6 feet. You're talking about 6 centimeters, maybe. That's as much social distancing in between people.
So there's still like people that want to ski like that bad that there's like actual lines at Snow Valley.
Yeah, there was a pretty damn big line for the ski lifts, and yeah, everybody just we eventually, like, when I got there around 11 a.m. It wasn't that crowded, but then as the day progressed, the line started getting bigger. It got bigger. I remember at 1 o'clock, it got so long that it went around the chairlift place and it went up the hill. So I had to stop early to avoid, wiping out some little kid. I don't know.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to do that. Wipe out.
No. I know that would be really unfortunate if that actually happened. But yeah, so another thing. So that was pretty much quarantine for us. I mean, quarantine's still gonna happen, but it just depends. It still depends how severe. And with this, for Canada, well, for our province especially, we actually have a new strain of the UK variant of the COVID virus.
Yeah, we got some British COVID.
Which apparently is more contagious. It spreads faster, spreads more violently. So, I mean, if you think of it, one person in a class in my school, and then if one person has the UK variant, imagine how fast it's going to spread. I mean, people at lunchtime, they take off their masks to eat food. And what if one of the infected people, they spread it, and then eventually, it's just the results are going to be very catastrophic if you think about it.
Yeah, it's tough, There's a stronger virus out there. It spreads more. That's gonna be bad.
Yeah, I think.
You know.
Yeah, I think there's like for the government. I don't know. I don't really like to go into politics a lot, but I think there's a difference between doing the good thing and doing the right thing. I think the good thing is to keep schools closed, right? Just to prevent the spread, prevent complete contact with each other's students, right?
Yeah.
But then there's doing the good thing, and then there's also doing the right thing. I think doing the right thing is to keep schools open, because I remember last year's quarantine in 2020, and then 2020, sadly a lot of teachers got laid off because schools were closed, which was very upsetting. A lot of people, they make a living, they have mouths to feed just to teach other students, and then all of a sudden they have to be laid off. It's just kind of tragic.
I mean, this COVID issue, we need to. Oh, I was about to get political there. Okay, yeah, we're not gonna go there.
Yeah, we're not gonna go.
We're not going there. This is a politically neutral podcast. Okay. Yeah, we're neutral. Yeah. Okay. So anyways, crappy like British COVID-19. You're gonna have to like drink some more tea to like defeat it or something. Maybe give it some tea. Throw some tea at it.
Okay, I guess. Anyways, and then I would like to go on to another thing that. So this was especially sad for me and some of my friends. So I don't know about you, Sean. I'm a basketball kind of guy. I played basketball for my school in grades 8 and 9.
Yeah.
And so this was actually in January. It actually happened at the start of 2020, and Kobe Bryant sadly passed away in a helicopter crash along with his daughter.
Oh yeah, so I remember that. Yeah,
I remember just sitting in a restaurant and just waiting for my parents to finish eating, and I was scrolling through my Instagram feed, and then I just found this post that said breaking news that Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash, and that was I questioned it at first, saying, "Is that real? No way that's real. It's probably news,
right?
It's probably a prank, But I searched it up on Google when I got back home, and then it was true that Kobe Bryant died in the helicopter crash on his way to practice. And this was especially sad for me because I guess Kobe, he kind of inspired me to play basketball. I mean, his Mamba mentality, I guess that's what you call it. I mean,
his Mamba mentality.
His Mamba.
I'm not much of a basketball guy, so can you explain to those of us that don't know what it means?
So the Mamba mentality is essentially his kind of mantra, I guess you could say, to not give up and to strive towards the goal, like his final goal. Like that's how he puts it, and I find it really inspiring, really motivating. And just to see my role model, die in a helicopter crash, I don't know. It's kind of heartbreaking to find out. Like I always aspire, like not aspire, but I'm always motivated by his quotes and everything. Like, I mean, he's just really motivational and all. And just to find out that he died in a helicopter crash is kind of sad.
Yeah. So this happened early 2020.
Yeah, around in January. I forgot the day. I think it was 26th, if I have to be exact. But don't quote me on that because I don't know. It's just really devastating for some people, and I cannot amount to the sadness that Kobe's family probably felt when they found out that Kobe died. I think it was especially devastating for them. And I think all around the world, Kobe's fans, all of them feel kind of sad. Like very sad.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. Well, anyways, let's get on to a little thing, especially for us. I'm familiar that you're familiar about World War III memes, I guess.
The World War III memes.
Yes.
Those are pretty early on, right?
Yeah, what was the context?
Yeah, wait, what was the context again? Yeah.
Well, what happened was, I think it was so don't like I said again, don't quote me on this because I might be saying it incorrectly, but this is what I kind of think. Trump wiped out this Iranian general. I forgot his name, but I think it was Soleimani. Like I said, I might be wrong, so don't get me. But yeah. So this happened, and then this kind of sparked Iran to say that they're going to retaliate or something like that, and then. Yeah, and then memes started circulating around the internet, like World War III memes. How you and I are going to get shipped off into the military and trained to go fight. Like that was it was a meme for a while, but then it kind of died down.
After that's it. Months. So like some guy was killed, and then that guy's country was like, "We're gonna go to war," and then everyone thought it was gonna be World War III.
Yeah, everybody thought that was kind of going to be World War III, but then, it was it just kind of died off after a while. I mean, everybody in my school was talking about World War III and how they were going to get shipped off to the military. And then, everybody went along with it. Everything was cool, and then it kind of just died down after a while.
Yeah, looking back now on the actual story, that is pretty underwhelming for what usually happens.
I know it kind of started big, but then it had like a short life. That meme, it kind of just died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the draft memes, they were pretty good. Yeah, whenever someone did something, you'd say, "Getting ready for the draft," or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are bad.
Another thing that for us that happened during it was also at the beginning. It actually happened in late 2019. So I'm sure you're familiar with the Australian fires.
Vaguely. How about you fill me in?
Well, what happened was, it was bushfire season already over there. And then Australia. I guess it was one of the worst, it was actually one of the worst bushfires they've ever experienced, apparently. And it kind of stopped during March. I think it was in 2020, March. And then, yeah, I have friends there. I actually lived in Australia for a while in Queensland. And I have friends who say that the smoke from the fires actually blew over into the city. And then everything was just shrouded in this blanket of smoke. And then it's just hard to breathe. And I don't know. I'm going back in time for this one. This is even before 2019. So do you remember do you remember the BC fires? How some of the
fires
smoke
everywhere.
Yeah, remember the BC fires? How the smoke blew over to our province, and then when we woke up, there was just this smoke in the air.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Like the sky was orange or something.
Yeah, the sky was orange, and then it was so dark, and then everything smelled like burnt wood.
Oh yeah, and then everyone's like calling the end of the world.
Calling it the end of the world. I remember just looking up into the sky. Just look at the sun. The sun was it was tinged like orange. It was like dark orange color.
Yeah, all the smoke made everything orange and stuff.
Yeah, it was really a weird experience, and sadly, a lot of people. So some people in the Australian fires lost their lives, which was very sad. But then it stopped in March 2020. So that was also kind of tragic in 2020. I'm sorry to think that 2020. It was just a bad year. Everything that happened. COVID.
We'll see. We will
with
see.
A lot of especially Kobe Bryant passing away, and then the Australian fires, and then like the World War III, I guess, if you call that a bad thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's a bad thing, but politically neutral.
Also, do you remember? I actually forgot when in 2020 this was, because I don't know, 2020 was just a bad year. I'm trying to forget about it, but 2020, sometime in that year, the U.S. Pentagon, I think they released footage. They released proof of UFOs. Are you familiar?
Aliens.
Yeah.
There's COVID aliens. Maybe the aliens brought the COVID, I guess. I don't know, bro.
I don't know. Anyways.
I don't know anything about aliens.
Well, same. But here's the thing. I've always been, fascinated with aliens. Is there life out there? You know what I mean, right? Like UFOs. Always being interested in those, but then when the U.S. Pentagon released when they released the footage, I just didn't care anymore because I don't know, like maybe in a normal circumstance I would have been like, oh wow, like there's actually proof of aliens, the U.S. Pentagon confirms it, but then it was sometime during 2020. I just didn't care. I just looked at it and I was like, meh, it's just probably just some other like fake news, so I just threw it away. I don't know. Yeah, I just put it at the back of my head. I guess there was just much more. There was much bigger things to worry about, like COVID, right? Like the pandemic.
Yeah, like who cares about some flying?
Yeah, who cares about? Yeah, who cares about UFOs? Like we got bigger stuff to worry about, like if I'm going to catch corona or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said before in the previous podcast, I remember how before COVID-19, it was actually dubbed the coronavirus. See, even now, even though I haven't searched it up yet before, but I actually do not know how they got the name COVID-19.
Oh, wait, how?
See, that's the thing. I don't know. I don't want to guess because I'm definitely going to be wrong. So yeah, I don't know how they got coronavirus. Like, what led to the discovery of that name? There must be some,
I think way. Like corona or something maybe means like lung. I think I heard that somewhere. Like breathing, something like that. And then it's virus, as in like it's a virus.
Coronavirus. Yeah.
Well, I'm hardly a scientist, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I think I heard that somewhere.
Much less of a scientist if you ever were one. But anyways, coronavirus, when that first came out, we like I said also in that previous podcast, there was actually a lot of memes about the coronavirus. You remember that, right? How if one person coughs, everybody in that class turns around and looks at you.
Oh yeah.
Because remember? Because I mean, if you think about it, it's kind of true. In a normal kind of class situation, like before COVID, like say 2018, if you cough in a classroom, nobody's gonna care. Well,
nobody cares.
Maybe one person might look at you. They might ask you to look. They might ask you to go drink water, or like if you need to call a doctor or something. But then maybe not even call a doctor. But then take 2020 and then you cough in the middle of class, everyone turns around in their seats and looks at you. Teacher turns around.
The class.
Yeah, and then and then this also I think brings us back into the quarantine, because I think it made up most of 2020 for us especially. And for us, we actually had to, every single morning we had to do this health screening check.
Huh.
If I remember, I almost never did it. Did the health screening check.
Oh yeah, like that silly paper thing, right? Like with
it's like, do you have a cough? Do you have a fever? Or do you have a runny nose? Do you have an itchy eye? For all I know, I didn't have any of those, because I mean I kind of self-evaluate myself, but I always come up short of any of those things. But that's it. Yeah, I think most of 2020 was just COVID for us.
Yeah, I don't think anyone actually did those like paper test things. Like, do you have a cough? Like, did anyone actually do that?
See, that's the thing. I remember talking to some of my friends during lunchtime. Well, of course I had my mask on, but I actually talked to one of my friends, and he was like, "Oh, what paper thing?" He doesn't even do it.
Like, do you do it?
No. Oh well.
I don't do it.
Here's the thing. I don't go through it in detail. Like, I don't say, oh, like one, or like, do I have this or do I have that? No, I usually just think it over in my head. Like, have I experienced any of these like symptoms in my head over the past few weeks or past few days? I mean, yeah, I'm clean. So I don't know about you. Have you ever done it before?
I mean, if I feel like I'm sick, I'll probably say I'm not going to go to school. But I'm not doing that paper thing, because I forgot the paper thing.
I mean, sometimes if you have like a small, like the cough, if you have the cough, you can just go to school. But like maybe every time you cough, you can just, I don't know, cough into your shirt or turn around and face the other way. But now if you have even like the common cold, it's too risky to go to school because people are going to suspect you.
Yeah. This actually like brings me to like a question. Like, you know when you're in any event and you have to sneeze?
Yeah.
But you have a mask on. So what do you do? What have you done in that situation?
Well,
if you had to sneeze.
I guess for me, I just
like, do you take the mask off? Do you just sneeze into your mask?
No, I just
that's
like pretty
vile.
So there's the nose piece, that metal nose piece, right?
Yeah.
I pinch it and then I sneeze because I know some of it. As gross as it sounds, it might come out of the mask, so I just pinch it closed. I don't know. What do you do in that situation?
I don't know. I think the one time I sneezed, I took my mask off and brought it to the elbow.
Oh, okay.
But sneezing your mask, that's vile.
Well, see, here's the thing. When you sneeze, when you sneeze, there's like a bunch of projectiles, I guess you could call them, like your spit or something.
Yeah.
And then, okay, this is going to sound gross, but then when you're wearing a mask, you sneeze and all those projectiles, they're going to hit the masks, and some of them is going to rebound into your face. So it's just disgusting. But, it's just that one small, it's just that one split second where you sneeze. I mean, you don't really have a lot of time to prepare, so you either do what you do, or I do what I do. So I just keep my mask on. I just pinch the nose real hard and then sneeze.
Yeah, I should talk about that. Do you usually sneeze like that? Like by plugging your nose? I know some people do it.
I mean, if I was in normal times, I usually would put my face into my shirt, and then I would sneeze. I usually do that.
Like you pull up your shirt over your mouth?
Over my nose and then sneeze.
Really? That's...
Yeah, I do that. Have you not seen people do that, or?
I mean, I've seen people do it, but I just find it pretty strange because, like, isn't that all that flying moisture germs like flying into your shirt, and I've just got like this stuff on your shirt?
Sure, I mean, like I said before, it's like a sneeze. You don't really have a lot of time to prepare, so you either do something or you just sneeze right into, I don't know, some person's face, which is disgusting.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Sometimes, when you're outside, you have to do like the sneeze dab, where you just like sneeze to the side, right?
Sneeze dab. Where did you get that from?
I don't know. It's. I was just like, whenever I do it, it's like you gotta do it fast. You just dab, sneeze over the shoulder,
Like a chew, and then you just dab. I mean, sure.
No, you don't actually dab. It's a figure of speech. Actually, I don't even know what it is. But like you like sneeze to the side, so you're not.
I mean, do you have to do it in a specific way? Like, do you have to do it really like extravagantly? Do you have to do it really, I don't know, boldly?
Well, I mean, this is a sneeze. You got to be ready for it. You got to be prepared. You got to be in position. So you got to be fast,
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, and then this also brings up the question of how do you... I don't know about you, but sometimes, like especially during quarantine, I usually try to hold in my coughs as much as I can because I know if I cough, people are going to look over and they're going to suspect me if I have the coronavirus.
Like your family? Like they're like
my family's fine, but it's just like other people outside of my house is like in school. If I'm wearing a mask, if I start coughing, because sometimes I don't know, I'll sound stupid, but it happens to some other people. I choke on my own spit, so I choke on my own spit, and then I just hold my cough in. So like I try my best not to cough. Or else people, if I do it, people are going to look over and they're going, "Oh, Nathan has the coronavirus," and I'm like, I don't. But then I don't know. It's just
I know it's crazy.
I just don't want to be suspected of having the coronavirus because I mean it's not fun.
Yeah, like when you have to cough in class, what do you do? Do you just like cough? Do you like what do you do?
Under normal circumstances or like
under COVID circumstances? You got a mask on your face. You got to cough. What are you gonna do?
Well, I just cough. I usually cough or just put my head down and cough. Just in case. I mean, if I could, I just hold it in. But if I really can't hold it in, I'll just cough. I see. Like that's just to avoid suspicion of people thinking I have the coronavirus. You know what I mean?
Of course.
I mean, how do you cough? I mean, just
personally for me, do you usually cough like without putting like something over your face?
I mean, usually I just cough. Like I said, I usually do the same thing when I sneeze. I put my shirt over my nose and sneeze or cough, or I just cough into my elbow or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Back to that. I think it's fine to cough like into your shirt, but sneezing, that's like some moist stuff flying out, right?
Yeah.
The cough is kind of like dryish.
A dry cough or something. And then when you're sneezing, you actually have these, like I said, projectiles coming out of your mouth and your nose. And then I've seen people out in public. So this was during quarantine. I think this is just weird, you know. Some people just openly sneeze or openly cough. Like, if you don't have a mask
outside,
on.
Like,
so this was actually before putting masks on was actually mandatory. So this was before COVID. The curve got like worse, I guess you could call it. And this actually, so what happened was some people, so like I wore a mask just in case, because I don't want to, I'm trying to lessen the chance of me getting it, so I wear a mask. But then some people back then, they didn't wear masks. And you know, some people, you know, like you do, they do the dab when they sneeze, or they cough into their elbow, or be like me, they cough into their shirt. But then I've seen some people just openly cough and openly sneeze. I think that's just really
like indoors.
Yeah, indoors and outdoors.
That's vile.
And everything.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's just disgusting.
I mean, like, I don't know about you, but my mom was like, "Don't cough. Put your arm or something." And that's what I normally do. And
did they say something about how, you know, the COVID-19 virus actually sticks to surfaces? So I don't know about you, because back then I remember I used to touch the escalator handle, like just to hold on, or touch the railings. And then during the pandemic, I never touched the railing, or never. I'm trying to, like I said, decrease the chances of me ever getting the virus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So, like, I know it's like you're not supposed to touch anything like in foreign places anymore, like because you could get the disease. Like
you could get the disease anytime, and like, you wouldn't even know how you got it. Like you wouldn't think of a time. I mean, COVID-19 is just. Yeah, like I said before, it made up most of our 2020 experience for us, especially because, I don't know, we were students, we were trapped, and then I don't know, occasionally, like at the beginning when COVID-19, when the first cases came to our place, I remember, like I said in that podcast, my mom wouldn't even let me go out, so like I stayed at home. But then when she actually let me go out, it was like, not a lot of people came out because of the virus. Because I especially think that the COVID virus, it made us do things differently. Like, I mean, back then, washing hands is just, it's just a thing to, you know, stop, you know, it's just to wash your hands, just to sanitize yourself, I guess. But then nowadays, you're looking at, like, washing your hands is a must before you do anything. Right?
Yeah, people are doing it compulsively.
Yeah, everybody, you have to do it now. And then I remember at some point, see, I don't actually, even now in 2021, I still don't get it. Why did people start hoarding toilet paper?
Oh yeah, it's for the apocalypse, you know. Like when you think about it, no one's making toilet paper anymore.
Is toilet paper going to save your life from the virus? Because if it did, I mean, that sounds believable, but of course it probably didn't. So what brought that, you know, sudden urge to start, I don't know, stockpiling on toilet paper? It was highly coveted, and I remember stores putting limits to toilet paper, like, limit of 1 box of toilet paper.
Yeah, Dave, let me tell you why. Have you seen like any apocalypse movie ever?
Sure, The Walking Dead.
Like, did they have toilet paper?
Well, they don't explicitly show toilet paper, but I'm sure they have toilet paper. I mean, if you go relieve yourself, what do you use to wipe yourself, right? Like your bare hands.
Yeah, it's a valuable commodity, toilet paper. And in the apocalypse,
sure, but isn't there other better things to, you know, I get hand sanitizer, I get masks, but why toilet paper, you know?
What else do you suggest if not toilet paper?
Like I said, hand sanitizers make sense.
If you're in the aisles, you're fighting people to get the goods. What are you fighting them for, if not for toilet paper?
Well, food, right? Canned foods that are gonna, like, non-perishable foods, canned foods like beans, I don't know, chili or something that lasts, because I don't want to die of starvation, right?
You're not getting like toilet paper over canned food. Like, you're getting food, then you're getting the toilet paper, because that's the thing you need. It goes in. You need something to clean up after it goes out. You know.
I mean, see, here's the thing. I mean, why? See, I just don't get it. I mean, I probably am thinking it weirdly, but I'm just thinking I just don't want to die of starvation, right? And then
you got to get the food. Once you get all the food, you
got to get the food. But then can't you just wipe your behind with something else?
Like what? What
I don't know. Like what do you people have used. I'm sure you've heard of the thing where you eat with your right hand and you do other things like, I don't know, wipe your behind with your left hand, right?
I've never heard that. Is that a thing?
Have you never heard that? It was, yeah. Actually, I think I read this somewhere. So, like I said before, don't quote me on this because I probably got it wrong. But maybe sometimes in old Victorian times, I guess, people would sneeze into their left hand and eat with their right hand. So, yeah.
Well, first off, like sneezing in your hand. That's gross.
Yeah, I know.
But even with your right hand, that's fine if you're right-handed, of course. I mean,
I kind of get it, but then, what would you do in a situation? Would you get toilet paper or would you get food?
You get the food, then you get the toilet paper. You got.
No, but if you only had one, if you only could pick one, I guess you would go for food, right?
Well, of course you need food, but
yeah,
this is a very deep conversation. Like
deep
food or toilet paper, This is
we could be talking for days about toilet paper or food. What to choose during the apocalypse?
It's like you need them both. You gotta have it. Just Nathan, how about this? Picture your life without toilet paper.
I'm sure that's very unsanitary.
Yeah.
But wait,
what else?
Toilet paper. Well, I know it helps helps us clean it, but aren't there other? Well, okay, I sound stupid saying this, but aren't there other alternatives to toilet paper?
Well, what are these alternatives? What do you suggest?
I'm sure you've heard of bidets. I think that's how you say it, bidets. It's like a water spout that washes your behind.
Okay, dude.
I'm sure not all of us have bidets, but you get what I mean.
I saw those in an ad, and I'm like, okay, dude. Okay, let me tell you about this ad, actually. So, there was like a little girl. She's washing dishes, but she wasn't using water. But then when the mother's like, why aren't you using water? And the little girl's like, oh, but we don't use water to wash our behinds after we poop. And it's like, that's supposed to make us want to buy it. Because we wash our dishes with water, but we don't wash our butts with water, right?
No,
and it's trying to sell us.
Their bidets, they exist. I know they do. Well,
it's a thing.
I've seen in Japanese hotels, they've actually got bidets in their toilets, which I think is kind of neat. But yet again, we're talking about in an apocalyptic context. We're not really going to have. Not everybody's going to have bidets, right?
If it's the apocalypse, right? You're running low on water.
But here's the thing: we're not in the apocalypse. We're in a pandemic, which, well, I guess you could say,
which is basically the same thing, right?
Yeah, basically the same thing, but it's not as severe, I guess. Apocalypse, because you're talking about people dead. Well, we do have people who sadly passed away, but I guess
it's preparing for the apocalypse because people think that the apocalypse is coming from the coronavirus.
Yeah, but. Yeah, like I said, I don't know. If I was, if I was like a random shopper going to, who knows, like Superstore, right? I don't know. I wouldn't buy toilet paper first. I would probably stockpile on food because I don't want to starve to death, like I said before. And then maybe if toilet paper is still there, I'd probably just get toilet paper. I don't know about you.
I mean, you got to get the toilet paper. There's reasons people are going for toilet paper because everyone knows you need toilet paper.
Yeah, you need toilet paper to relieve yourself, but in dire situations, I guess you call it. But what would you pick? I don't know. I'd pick food, like I said many times. Like, would you pick food or would you pick toilet paper? Like, you can only pick one.
Well, of course you got to pick food. You physically need food.
Yeah, if you don't eat food, your body's gonna eat. Yeah.
You also kind of need toilet paper too.
You kind of need toilet paper too, but. Imagine how the first people on... Okay, I sound a little bit stupid. Well, no, not a little bit. I sound very stupid saying this, but how do you think the first people... Like, how do you think cavemen relieved themselves? Do you think they wiped with their hands?
Well,
or something? They didn't have toilet paper back then.
They didn't have toilets. They probably just used, a leaf or something.
Yeah, leaf. Yeah. I mean... Well, we're not
like,
back
there's
then.
ivy on that stuff. Like, what if you like get an ivy leaf? You know, you clean it up. Now you got ivy on your behind, right?
Yeah, and then it's just gonna be itchy, and it's just gonna be one heck of a time, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, if you yeah, I guess you're right. But then,
like, what if it came in a toilet paper? They'd be so satisfied.
Yeah, I mean, we would have evolved much more. I guess I don't know. I feel like this conversation could drag on for a long time. Just talking about the topic of toilet paper, like I said before, I get masks because they're disposable, right? Like, you can't use a disposable mask multiple times. I usually use it once. I might use it twice, but that's literally it. And then I throw it out and I use the next one. But I've seen a few people walk around with those really, those really hunky respirators with those big filters on. Yeah,
I've seen gas masks, like hazmat suit, like
kind of like like the mask, not the hazmat suit especially. But yeah, you get what I mean.
Like the fancier ones.
Yeah, the fancier ones. Like now, as of now, I think that's real. I think it's just people they just want to be safe. Like, who doesn't want to be safe during the pandemic? Like, it's better to be safe than sorry, like I said many times. And that's pretty much it for toilet paper, especially because toilet paper could get us talking for ages. We just talked a very long time about toilet paper.
I'm very interested what other people think. If toilet paper is valuable.
Yeah, the thought process behind buying toilet paper, right? It's just, you don't get it yet, maybe, but some people, but you need it. It's just, like I said before, we didn't, okay, let's talk about hand sanitizers, I guess, during quarantine. I remember, walking into a chemist shop, and then a pharmaceutical shop, and just looking at where the hand sanitizers used to be, right? And then you just see the shelves just cleared.
Just empty shelves.
Yeah.
Just buried.
Empty.
There's nothing. Yeah.
And then I remember some breweries, or distilleries, they actually started making some. And our school actually used this type. I don't know about you. You remember this specific type of hand sanitizer. It smelled so bad. It was it smells like, okay,
it's
I don't know.
Alcohol. It's like pure alcohol sanitizer.
Yeah,
it's just so potent.
It was another thing. I think it just smelled like yeast, or it smelled like butts. I don't know. It just smelled so bad. But then you had to use it, or else. I remember walking into class for the first time during the pandemic and using hand sanitizer to wipe down my desk. I just took a small whiff of the hand sanitizer. Like, it didn't smell like alcohol. Like, it smelled like yeast.
It's strong stuff. I don't know what it is.
I guess it was from the distillery, I guess you could say. But yeah, it just smelled awful. Like, I guess in that kind of situation where hand sanitizer is highly coveted and literally people are literally fighting over each other to buy hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
I guess that was the only way to, compensate for the loss of hand sanitizer, was to get distilleries that would manufacture these hand sanitizers for us. I mean, it was just in that situation, I guess people just started hoarding hand sanitizer as well, and Lysol wipes as well. Lysol wipes were also highly coveted.
That's how you know they're good. When they smell really bad, that's how you know it works. It's getting the job done.
Sure, I guess.
No, okay. Let me tell you. Okay, remember, have you heard of Buckley's?
Buckley's, yes, Buckley's.
It's like, tastes awful and it works. Okay.
Oh yeah, it tastes like
that's like their slogan.
It tastes terrible, but yeah,
it tastes terrible, but it works apparently.
But after a while, you just get better and better, even though it tastes like, it just tastes terrible, but the stuff works.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's exactly like hand sanitizer. The worse it smells, the better it works.
Really?
Or else why would it smell so bad?
I'm more used to hand sanitizers like Purell, right? I know Purell. Purell, like that hand sanitizer, it doesn't have like a really bad smell. It doesn't really have a good smell either, but it's just kind of neutral. You can still smell the kind of scent of alcohol.
Yeah, but then it won't knock you out. It's like,
yeah, but then you've got this new kind of hand sanitizer that smell like butts or yeast. I don't know. Don't quote me. Like I said many times before, don't quote me on that because I don't want to get held accountable for me saying that something. And then if you ask me, Nathan, how do you know what butts smell like? Well, don't ask me. I just don't know. I just came up with that on the spot. I don't know because I don't know. So, Sean, I'd like to ask you this one thing. So, it's kind of like a thought process. So, what were your plans if, COVID never really existed? So, for 2020, what were you going to do like before your plans were ruined? So, tell me.
What was I going to do? Well,
yeah,
Nathan, I was going to do, I guess, my normal plan of having no plan for 2020. Just doing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, doing whatever, going with the flow.
Going with the flow. I mean,
yeah.
COVID never really disrupted your life. That's what I'm getting at least. So, you really.
Well, if you put it like that, well, kinda. I mean, I imagine it disrupted me in some way. Like typically,
I mean, were you going to go on a holiday? I mean, fly somewhere?
We don't take
Sunny
that
beaches.
many like trips. Maybe like go on the occasional trip out of town to Calgary, Canmore. That kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's pretty normal.
Besides that, not really. We don't really go on that many trips.
Okay. Well, how like what would you have done different, if you were to go back before quarantine? What would you have done differently,
Like in preparation for quarantine, knowing what I know about quarantine?
Yeah, if you did know, like this is totally, not real, but if hypothetically, yeah, in a hypothetical situation, what would you have done if you knew COVID was real? Like if you knew COVID, if you knew what was going to go on, what would you have done?
I would have probably said, guys, I could see in the future this is real and we need to start doing some regulations. I'd probably go to the government and say, government, I can see in the future, okay, this is going to be real, this is going to be bad. Get the boys on it, okay? That's probably what I do. Maybe I'd send an email or something. I'm not sure
they're going to believe you. I'm sure they're going to just mistake you as some other crackhead in this city.
Okay, no, I can be like that guy. I can be the guy that's like, who they thought was wrong, but then was actually right.
And you're that kind of guy who, after things hit the fan, you just go like, I told you so.
Exactly, right? Yeah, I want to be that guy. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see, okay.
What about you, David?
That makes sense. Yeah. I mean, for me, if COVID never happened, like, say in a hypothetical situation, if COVID never happened, I kind of, I usually would have traveled, to other places. I would have visited my grandparents if I had the chance.
Where are your grandparents?
In China.
Oh, yeah, so pretty big trip.
Yeah, I never got the chance to this year. In 2020, I guess. See, you know how I said this year? I just said this year because I don't know, man. It doesn't feel like 2020, like 2021 it doesn't feel like 2020 has changed. It still feels like we're still in that year,
Wow, it's almost as if like the year changing doesn't do anything, and it's just yeah.
It still feels like I'm still in 2020, which is so weird. Like I just said this year, but we're already in 2021, and I'm completely oblivious to the fact. But anyways, yeah, that's I would have done that. So,
well, things are still happening. It's only been like 2 days, right?
Yeah, and a lot of people see. I don't know when this pandemic will end. That was most of 2020 for us. Just being cooped up in our houses during quarantine, and it was kind of boring. But yeah, like I said, if COVID never happened, especially for me, I think I would have just traveled during the break.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, traveled, maybe went to the gym, maybe work out a bit, but then everything just stopped. And then if I knew about COVID, I'd probably do the same thing as warn the government, but they're probably gonna mistake me as some wacko and throw me into a mental institute.
Yeah, but then you can be like, I was right.
Yeah, I was right. I told you so.
And then the government's like, oh, he was right. And then I don't know what then.
During the quarantine, another thing that just occurred to me was the cinemas and theaters.
Oh yeah, movie theaters.
Yeah. how they seemingly just closed down, and I feel like the movie business is struggling because since the movie theaters are shut down, they're not going to get people. People are not going to buy tickets, right? So like, and then there were supposed to be a lot of movies scheduled to release. Like, there's this new Wonder Woman movie. I'm sure you've heard about it somewhere. Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh yeah, I've seen some ads.
And the new James Bond movie. It was supposed to come out this year, but it got delayed because of COVID.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering if how long. Like, I think it just depends if the movie business is struggling all because of the pandemic.
Well, they're still making movies. They're
still making movies,
but they can't use like movie theaters anymore. Those are closed, right?
Those are as of now they're temporarily closed, but they've been closed for quite a while, to my knowledge.
Yeah, so like movies, they can't put their not movies. Producers can't put their movies in theaters, and people can't go see them.
No one's going to be there because everything's closed down because of COVID.
Yeah, so that's got to be like a hit to like their revenue, right?
A pretty big hit. I think that's a pretty big impact to the movie industry because, people are not earning money, and people, like I said, this thing is just like a connection. I think COVID, although it's killed a lot of people, sadly, but I think it also has like a big impact in like economy and just business in general.
Because, well, of course.
Yeah, certain things shut down. Like if school shut down, a lot of teachers would get laid off. Right, because you're not earning money for the economy. Same thing with the movie industry. Like, you're not earning revenue from your movie. People are not buying tickets. So, essentially you can think of it as like same thing as school. People are going to get laid off, and a lot of money is going to be lost.
It's bad for the economy, yeah.
Yes, pretty bad. I mean, what are your thoughts on this topic?
Like movies?
Yeah, just
like, I mean. It is what it is. Everyone's suffering.
Usually when a movie, I remember before COVID, I actually went to watch Hobbs and Shaw. I don't know.
That one. With Dwayne The Rock and that other guy.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson and
the British guy.
Jason Statham.
Yeah.
That bald dude.
Yeah, the bald
Anyways,
dude.
I kind of miss those days. Like I said, if COVID never happened, cinemas were open. I would have gone and watched some of the movies that would have come out.
Yeah, what? Like I said, now that you mention it, delayed. I would have hanged out more, like outside the house with my friends.
Yeah, I would have. I would have gone out with a bunch of my friends a lot more. Like right now, government regulation says that you're only allowed to hang out with people in like your same household.
Yeah.
Or else. Yeah, you're gonna be caught. You're gonna be fined.
Yeah, the government's cracking down, like up to $1,000 fine. Like,
that's. I mean, okay. If I were you, I would distance myself from anybody other than my family members because you kind of get the gist of it. I mean, you kind of get why the government. I mean, the government's trying to flatten the curve, which is the appropriate thing to do. I mean, in any situation.
I mean, right? It has to be done. It's either that or like the apocalypse, the world ends and stuff. Big disease.
Yeah, big disease might be just the end of us, but of course the new vaccine is getting dished out, so it's only a matter of time before all of us get vaccinated.
Yeah, but apparently, like, we still can't go running around outside just because they can cure it.
No, we can't. Yeah, we can't. Like, some of the things we used to do, like, I mean, you've been to the mall recently.
I actually have not.
Oh, really? Well, I've been there just with like family members and everything. It was Boxing Day, right? And even though it was Boxing Day, I don't think anything stopped people from going to the stores and buying. And if you have a look at the mall, like, I'm sure which malls there are in our city. So and then there were lines. I remember there were big lines of people since the store capacity. They were limited to, I think it was some schools were like 15% of indoor capacity was limited. So when the store capacity was full, people had to go line up, and if one person leaves, another person can go in. It's like that's how everything operates now. And I think everything operates differently. And then I just went there. I just found this big line of people.
That actually reminds me of like the time I did go to the mall, like pretty early during the quarantine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was going to like the Apple store, right? Because I need new earbuds.
Okay.
So it's like I was about to walk in, but the guy's like, "No, wait, stop. Wait your turn." Okay. So then I go to the line, right? Okay. I go to the line, but then when it was finally my turn, the guy, like the security guy, right? This guy with like a taser and stuff, he like takes my temperature like with this weird plastic thing.
Yeah, it's
and then I'm good.
Kind of like a gun.
Yeah, like some kind of gun, right? And then he's like, "Okay, you're good." Then I go in, and then I have to stand on these triangles in the Apple store and like wait for my
turn. What's it called? It's a 6 feet distancing. Yeah, like social distancing.
Like I'm like, you know, the Apple store, right? In the Apple store, it's massive. It's open.
It's got big.
It's like you can't walk around by yourself. You need to have like a buddy to watch you.
I guess so. Yeah. I actually went there during the pandemic. This was I think it was in November, I believe. So my iPhone was kind of having problems. So I just went in and they said, "Did you book an appointment for the G?" Like usually you can just go in for a walk-in appointment, but now you have to booking was also an option back before the pandemic, but now everybody books because you can't really do walk-ins anymore. Like you could, but then the waiting time is really long. And this also brings up another change. This was actually when I went snowboarding. So now you're not allowed to buy tickets when you're in the office. You actually have to book all of them online.
Oh yeah.
Before quarantine, I remember me and my friends, we actually went into the office and bought our tickets, but then now we have to wait online to see if spots are available, and then we have to book into those time slots. Which
all kinds of businesses, they gotta put in these new regulations.
Yeah, these new like I said, in-store capacity and all that kind of stuff. It's just for me it was just kind of bad. I mean, some stores, like I remember walking into this store. I'm not going to say which store, but you probably know. It's a shoe store. And then I was just waiting, and it was a really long line. It went around the corner.
Ooh.
Right? Yeah, so you had to go all the way there. And the store, like, even though they say 15% of the normal capacity, it's just full of people. You just see this big line of people. You see people looking at shoes and everything, right? And then, yeah, like you said, there's these like small platforms, like these small big stickers, like stand here, right? Like 6 feet distancing.
Yeah, there's so many new regulations and stuff.
Yeah, and then it's just kind of different, but I think it's become the norm now, considering how long the pandemic has been going on for. And like I said, like the pandemic actually it reached us during March, I believe. Like that's when school shut down, I remember, for us. And even before that, like when COVID-19 was still overseas in China, it was it was just all over the news that there's this new virus. And of course, even though it was over there, I felt that everything was just shut down, and I never thought it would actually reach us over here. I thought it would get contained. Back
to the COVID episode, I didn't really care.
Yeah, back in that COVID episode, we were just like I said, in that we were just chilling, I guess. And then all of a sudden now we find ourselves amidst this this pandemic that would have gotten prevented, I guess, but I guess we were just not prepared.
Yeah, well, no one was prepared anyways.
Yeah, no one was prepared. I mean, everybody was kind of caught off guard. And then you could say they pulled the rug on us when COVID was introduced.
Yeah. Okay, that actually reminds me. All the regulations and stuff. So you've been to like a store, right? Like a supermarket?
Yeah.
And there's like arrows on the floor everywhere. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like a maze. And like when you're walking down an aisle, but then you realize you've been going the wrong way. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's
here's
like,
the thing. Yeah, even though like I know I might sound like a monster. Like, Nathan, you're such a monster. You don't follow the arrows. Like,
yeah.
Like if I don't see anybody, in that row, like I mean, like I've been to stores and I see people not following the arrows the entire, like, Best Buy, like that electronic store, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Best Buy actually. There's actually these places. There's these arrows that point you in the, like, this arrow will take you to, I don't know, Geek Squad. This arrow will take you to the laptops. This arrow will take you to TVs, or this lap will take you to, I don't know, phones. I don't follow them. I just, I try my best to, but if there's nobody really in the store and it's really kind of empty, I just walk as I wish. And
I mean,
I mean, usually I remember just noticing. It's really sometimes confusing for me, the arrows on the ground. It's like you go this way, and then all of a sudden the arrow changes, and then you have to go the opposite. I don't know. It's just confusing. But yet again, it's the regulations. You have to follow them.
Yeah, there's like, you have to walk like you're driving. The arrows. Yeah. Just follow the arrows.
Yeah, you gotta follow. Well, not like driving. Sure, you have to follow the arrows, and then if you don't, well, it's not necessarily you'll get into trouble, but it's good because
you'll get frowned upon. You're basically in trouble, right? Like, people are looking at you like
people are gonna give you that look, like I'm gonna get you kind of look.
Like, they're not very happy about the.
Yeah, they're not very happy. And then there's actually these people, straight outright anti-maskers. They don't wear masks at all.
Oh yeah, that's
actually saw one at Costco the other day, and
yeah,
you just see him. He's just angry, like they encourage him to wear a mask, but he wouldn't wear a mask. Like,
what happened? Did you hear the exchange?
No, we just left, and then we went in, we got our stuff, and we left, and then we just never heard from that guy again. Probably I just don't know what happened to him.
I know. Okay, I've actually been watching a lot of anti-masker rage videos on YouTube.
Oh,
and it's hilarious. Okay, like, all of them are from America.
Enlighten me, please.
Yeah. Okay. They say like, oh, I thought this was America. All right. When, like, the store owner tells them to put on a mask, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, I have my rights. And then they're like, I have a condition where if I wear a mask, I'll die. And it's like, it's just so funny because the store owners are like so polite, but then these people are just going off, right?
I mean, yes, there are such thing as exemptions. Like, I've got a couple of friends who can't wear masks because they've got breathing problems.
Oh yeah, yeah, these are actual things. But like, in the video, it's just hilarious because they don't. But they didn't bring a paper.
There's people who outright say, "Oh, my body, my choice." Like, of course, I get it. Like, it's your body, it's your choice. Of course, like, you should make your own decisions for your, like, own well-being. But then, I kind of think that, like, would you, like, it's better, like I said before, it's what's the good thing, what's the right thing to do. The right thing for you, if like, I was, like, hypothetically, say I was an anti-masker, right? The right thing for me to do, like, the good thing for me to do is, like, the good thing that suits me is to, I don't know, to not put on a mask because I'm an anti-masker, right? My body, my choice type of beat. And then, I don't put on a mask. But then the right thing to do, right? The good thing and the right thing. So the good thing for me, like I said, is to not put on a mask. But the right thing to do to benefit other people is to put on a mask. To make sure that in case if you have it, just don't spread it to others, right?
Yeah. I think this is a bit of a political opinion, but I think this is, like, pretty common. But people who don't wear anti-masks, I think that's kind of cringe, because if they didn't want to wear clothes, would that be allowed because of their body? They shouldn't wear clothes,
I mean, there are such thing as nudists, but we won't get to that. We won't get to that.
Isn't that like a law though? Like, you can't run around naked because, like, public. I don't even know the word, public, like, display.
I'm sure you'll get charged by the police, but of, like, indecency.
Yeah, like public decency. Like, you have to wear clothes. Exposure. So why not wear a mask, right?
Yeah, but I think masks and not wearing clothes are two different things, but they're all clothing items to some degree.
Yeah.
Like, masks, you have to wear. I mean, clothes. Sorry, clothes you have to wear. I mean, no one wants to see you in your birthday suit running around, right? Like,
yeah.
Who wants to see you? Oh, like this naked man running down the street. No, I think masks are like they cover your mouth and your nose, which is not like clothes which cover your what parts.
Yeah,
you get what I mean, right? So yeah,
I mean, of course.
Yeah, think of clothes as like a mask for your private parts, I guess, and then, well, okay,
that's
let's.
The thing. Would you just like wear underwear and say like, "Oh, I don't need to wear shorter pants"? Like, would you do that? Like, just wear underwear? Because like, really, the only article of clothing that covers the important stuff is the underwear.
Well, it really depends who you are, right? If you are a male, of course, but if you're a female, it's a whole different story.
Oh, that's a whole other debate there. Oh,
yeah, that's a whole nother. We'll never get to that in this podcast, and we never intend to. Yeah. So let's just set that aside. But then, if you were a man, like I said, the only really thing that covers your no square is underwear.
Yeah, and it's like a mask, right? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, a mask covers your mouth. I mean, here's the thing I think we're going on one of those tangents again. But then a mask covers your mouth just to protect other people. So I guess an underwear or clothes is to protect other people, to shield their eyes from the horrors of the human body. I guess it's just
parts,
the private parts which no one wants to see.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
It's just I guess it's just what's normal now. People wear masks, but then of course there's those anti-maskers out there that obviously don't follow the rules.
Yeah, I don't think it's that hard to wear a mask, is it?
No, it's but of course, like I said in the previous podcast and before, I've said this before. I don't know about you. I personally don't like wearing masks because of the following reasons. I've stated before that they don't go well with glasses. My glasses fog up, and I can't see. I might bump into somebody or smash into a wall or walking around.
Okay, I don't know if it's that severe. Like you're walking into people, you're knocking people over.
I'm probably exaggerating at this point, but you get my implications of this.
I mean, it's annoying, but I don't think it's
I don't think it's like it'll cause you to smash into a wall. Okay, I was definitely exaggerating there, but you get what I mean. And then there's that metal nose piece that really gets annoying. And there's also I don't know about you. I actually switched from disposable masks to reusable masks. So
what is a reusable mask? Like what kind of?
It's like that mask? Cloth one. I actually wear a pair. It's black.
Yeah.
And I wear it just to, I don't know. I just wear it because it's reusable. I don't keep throwing out this the same mask every single day after I finish with my mask. But you get what I mean. But
yeah.
Do you wear reusable or do you just still wear disposable?
Well, I don't really want to be bothered with having to wash a reusable one, so you just stick with the disposable ones.
I don't remember I ever washed my reusable one ever since I bought it. Well, I really just keep it there.
What kind of is it? What kind of mask is it? Is it like...
It's just a cloth one, really, and then inside is this filter.
So there's a filter.
All I really do is just this. It's kind of like the surgical mask, but then you could take the filter out and put another one in. So yeah, that's really what I do. I just put a filter filters. In. Yeah.
Oh, very fancy, very fancy.
Yeah, but then...
Wait, so you don't need to wash it? You just change the filter?
Before, all I did was change the filter. I never really washed it. That's pretty much it. But then, remember, there's also that... there's also those face... it's a face shield, I believe they call it. It's this big piece of plastic.
The big clear
You just put it in front of you. I remember people in my gym I go to, the receptionist actually wear those things, and it's kind of funny because everybody's wearing masks, and you've got these kind of people who wear this face shield.
Yeah.
And then it's just.
I'm like, do they wear a mask underneath that?
The ones I've seen, no, they don't. They just wear that face shield, that big plastic face shield, and that's it.
So what do you think? Is that safer or like worse?
No, I think that's kind of worse because a mask offers, I think, in my opinion, I might be wrong. Like I said, I don't expect you to give me grace for this, but I think a mask does more protection than because if you think about the face shield, it's see, I just don't know how to explain this, but in my gut tells me,
like the mask, it catches all the saliva and stuff. Better. But
it's more like a filter.
The face shield is open air, like mostly.
you're more exposed, mostly open air. Yeah, you only have this big piece of plastic protecting you, but then for a mask, you actually have like a decent filtering kind of tool to protect you from the virus, I guess. But like I've stated this before in that previous podcast about quarantine. Um, if you haven't listened to it, I encourage you guys to check it out. But I'll say what I said again. In my opinion, I don't think masks are 100% effective. I think masks and social distancing combined are more effective.
I'm no scientist.
I think masks all by itself are like I know some people believe I probably am wrong again, but I know some people might believe that, oh, if I put on a mask, I'm like Superman or something. I'm invincible, or I'm Iron Man. Like you can't get me. Like COVID-19 can't like infect me. But it's really not the case. I think the mask protects you to a certain degree. Like it doesn't. It's not like walking around with like a force field. No, it's more like walking around with like something that protects you to a certain degree, like I said.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. The scientists say it's good to wear masks. Scientists say it doesn't succeed.
You have to trust what the experts say, right? Like if they say this works, then you follow because they know better than you. I mean, you're just like an average citizen. Like us, we're only students, right? We're not even educated. We're not even fully educated on some of the topics like germs, right? We don't know a lot about that, even though we learned biology. Like we don't know that kind of stuff, so we might as well leave all like the problem solving to like the higher ups, right? Our superiors, the researchers.
Exactly. Yeah, like you have to trust what they're saying.
Yeah.
There's also like why anti-maskers are kind of cringe.
They're kind of crazy. I think
they don't listen to the government, I guess.
Yeah, and then in addition, there's also people who believe COVID-19 is fake. And let me tell you something, COVID-19 is not fake. There are people who've died. There's the deaths to prove it.
Yeah, it's just it's crazy stuff. Yeah, I mean, people, I don't even know how they can believe that. There's so much misinformation everywhere.
Yeah, it's just you don't know what to believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to wrap it up now, folks. Thank you for listening to BroPod. And I'm Sean, and until next time, see you later. Hello, listeners. Thanks for making it to the end and listening to BroPod on YouTube. If you like what you hear, drop a like, comment, or subscription. Check out some other episodes, and until next time, peace.